So had another lovely peaceful couple of nights here in Arbroath. So yeah, the town's just a couple hundred yards away. You've got a real short walk to the harbour, which is lovely. You know, great seafood here, lovely fish and chips.
And Arbroath Smokies.
Arbroath Smokies, not that Steph will ever eat one of those.
Well, I don't know, I don't mind smoking.
And a cinema, just a couple hundred yards a walk away as well. So yeah, it's been lovely, little home from home for us for the last couple of days. Time to move on again now though, so further south we go. So it's early afternoon, we've parked up in our spot for tonight. Not a long trip from where we were in Arbroath, to be honest. We came through Dundee and just a few miles on from there we're in the Kingdom of Fife now. And we've got a spot in a CL for tonight, so another certified location, which is great. So obviously Steph's not with me at the moment. She's not feeling very well today. As we've mentioned in previous videos, she has a health condition that affects her ability to maybe to do things on a day-to-day basis. But it's quite nice we've got this little path here for me and Chili to come out and walk along. And this forest is absolutely gorgeous. It's the colours are amazing, and everybody kind of goes on about going to New England in the fall and seeing all the autumn colours. But having driven through Scotland this time of year, I find it quite hard to believe that it could be more spectacular elsewhere, really. As always, taking plenty of photos, try to take some video footage, but I know when I go back it won't do it justice. It doesn't matter how many filters I put on it or how you try and sort of touch up the photo. Nothing really can replicate the feeling of walking through like a woodland like this and seeing the colours. So great stop in the little CL we stopped in last night. It's called Beaches, not far from Tayport, pretty close to Dundee as well. Lovely place actually. They've got the forest down the road, well worth a visit, and for a £5 a night you can't go wrong really. We considered staying there for another night because the weather looked like it was shaping up, but it's not apparently, so it's going to be a pretty rough afternoon later on. So we're going to move on and try and find another spot now. So whilst on the east coast we maybe don't have some of the exciting scenery that we had, especially as we get further down, gets more built up, more sort of population areas, that sort of thing. We do get quite a lot of these lovely beaches. Really lovely to come out and have a walk on, especially a day like today. It's quite crisp and cold, it's quite windy, but you know, plenty of blue skies. So we have actually got a bit of a dilemma now. We were potentially going to stay here tonight, which is allowed, down on Kings Barnes Beach. The road further south was blocked by a bus which had crashed, so this turn off we took at the beach, basically about 150 yards later there was a bus just half off the road. So yeah, we're going to have a think about whether we stay here or maybe head back to where we were last night and try and repeat this journey tomorrow perhaps.
So after heading down south for a couple of days and going through Dundee, we realised that was quite enough civilisation, and so we're actually heading back up north today, which we're very excited about because we're going to be back in the mountains, back amongst the lovely scenery. So yeah, very happy about heading away from cities and industries and far too many cars on the road. Good to be going back up north.
So yeah, after seeing that broken down bus as a sign that maybe somebody's trying to tell us something, and heading a bit further up, we've stopped now in about like the most remote spot you can think of, really, in a pass between a couple of mountains. Absolutely gorgeous. Thinking of maybe renaming the Scottish Highlands the Scottish Highwinds, because it's quite blustery again. Yeah, I think a lot of people obviously suffer from seasonal affective disorder, and I think to some extent we do as well. But obviously we also apparently suffer from scenery affected disorder as well, because the more built up it got and the less sort of mountains and sort of rugged scenery we were seeing, the more it was dragging us down a little bit, really. So yeah, just delighted to come back in. Had an absolutely lovely light last night. It was so quiet up here, as you can imagine, so remote on this road. A few miles that way is Balmoral, which is the Queen's Scottish holiday home. A nice little sort of cottage she retires to every now and again. And then further across to the other way is Grantown on Spey. A bit further down is Aviemore, the area kind of known as Speyside, which will be something that certainly whiskey lovers will be familiar with.
So we had a lovely night's sleep last night up here in the lovely mountains, which I'm sure will soon be covered in snow and have lots of people skiing down them. Yeah, it's really good to be back up here with all this scenery.
Just took a detour up Glenlivet, which was a really pretty place to drive, actually, some stunning scenery up there. But why it was of particular interest to me is there's not one, not two, but 3 distilleries there. And of course, having got there and sought to go in at least one of them, we found out that all the distilleries are closed on a Monday. So that didn't turn out so well, but let's be honest, it's not like we're struggling to get whiskey around here, so just on to the next place, I guess. but this is Aviemore, and it's really kind of a ski village in the Cairngorms is the best way to describe it. It's got an alpine feel to it. Very well worth the visit.
So we're in Aviemore and we're in the Snug, which is a whisky shop and tasting. So as you can see, Chris is doing just that. He's got some tasters in front of him. Has been advised by the person that works here that maybe to take it easy on the 60% whiskey.
So the great thing about Aviemore is it's located just on the edge of the Cairngorms, and it really is like a town for all seasons. So at the moment, even though it's heading into winter here, the snow hasn't come yet, so skiing season hasn't started, but it does mean that we can come out and have a lovely walk just in the Rothiemurgus estate just outside. So another lovely peaceful night on the shores of Loch Tunnel. So we're not far from the A9 now, so we're going to go back and rejoin that road and head a little bit further south. But it was just quite nice yesterday after driving on that busy road for a little bit to come off and travel around this little loch, which is really pretty, all the autumn colours. Yeah, so it's quite soothing, and then a good night's sleep as a bonus as well. So. So I thought I'd show you our stop from last night. We haven't seen much of it, unfortunately, but it's another stop in a forestry. Lovely picnic tables and things here. Nothing to park. Doesn't cost anything to park here overnight. But all this rain and bad weather the last couple of days has taught us a new Scottish word, which is dreek, which basically means pretty horrible weather. We've had a bit of that, so there's been quite a lot of driving, not a lot of walking and seeing the sights, but another lovely place to wake up in at least. So as I said, really, it is definitely a dreek day still. Although I'm getting excited because there's some sun trying to come out over there. Look, blue sky. But after failing to get into Castle Doon earlier, we've come to Bannockburn. Steph stayed in the van. It's not really a day to be walking around the battlefield, to be honest with you. But I wanted to come here just because of how important it was, really, in Scottish history. But yeah, fascinating to walk around again. Fairly nondescript area, really. I mean, it's pretty. It looks like a big park in the middle of a city. It's inside the Stirling city boundaries. There's buildings all around it, houses. Looks like maybe a school, visitor centre, obviously. So yeah, but amazing to think, really, in the midst of all this, such a sort of enormous part of history was forged, really. So I'm more of a kind of battlefields kind of guy than a canal boating kind of guy. Although, as you'll have seen from before, I do kind of appreciate the laid back attitude of the canal boat. But what we've got behind me here is the Falkirk Wheel. Now, as I've said several times today, it's a day in November, and there doesn't seem to be a lot happening here. All these kind of cool little places which look like they might be activities and food places are kind of closed in the basin. And the wheel's not moving. It would have been a cool thing to see it move, but quite an impressive structure nonetheless. Impressive what you can do with the Meccano set in a bit of time, really. So I think I spent so much time moaning yesterday that it was dreek all the time that somebody up there must have been listening, because It's not dreek at all today. It is absolutely gorgeous here in Scotland. Not a cloud in the sky at the moment, so even if the rain does come in a bit later, then we'll make do with it for now. We're in New Lanark, so we're going to go take a walk down to the town and see what this historic village is all about. So here we are, travelling down the M6 south. Definitely left Scotland now, sadly.
Yeah, we're really grateful for everyone for watching our videos. I mean, we've obviously had a great time, and it's just nice for family and friends and people that are interested in what we've been doing, just to be able to see all the adventures that we've been having up in Scotland. We've had an amazing time up there, you know, and if you can like and subscribe to our page, it doesn't cost anything.
So we will be carrying on our van life journey, and there will be more adventures to come. And we haven't quite closed down this series of episodes yet, because we will be taking some time to reflect on our journey through Scotland on this little van life adventure. So there will be an update on that soon.